Hey fellow photographer, how's it going? I'm Michael Zelbel. Today I would like to give you a reference system for whenever you ask yourself the question where to position my light and where to position my model. Now, I want to make it easy for you and tell you how I think about this question. And in order to explain it to you, I'm building up a pretty big lighting setup, but it's actually a simple one light setup. I'm just opening a large 72-inch Vortex Para Pro shoot-through umbrella, and I power this baby with two speed lights. It's Vortex Mitros speed lights with guide number 58, but I run them on 1/4 of their power, because this way I never ever have to wait for a speedlight to recycle, even when I shoot pretty fast. Now, having the big lighting setup, the million-dollar question is where to position my light. And the way I think about that is this. I imagine a clock face with times like 12 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and so on. Now, I imagine this clock face just around my model. She's standing in the middle, and she might face to 7 o'clock with her body and her face. But she could face to any time. And my camera is always at 6 o'clock. It's always shooting from 6 o'clock towards 12 o'clock. This is just how I think about it. Keep that in mind. Now, having this set up, I can easily express where my light might be positioned. It might be positioned at 7 o'clock, shooting pretty dead onto the model and giving a relatively flat light to a camera which would be at 6 o'clock. Not much time difference between the two means not much shadows involved. But I could also move my light to 9 o'clock. Then it's side lighting. It's one of my favorite lightings because it produces a lot of interesting shadow play. You could go on. You could put the light to 10 o'clock so it comes from the back side. And for a model facing to 7 o'clock, it's lighting right through her body. And you could go crazy and put the light at 12 o'clock. Then it's complete backlighting, making the model a silhouette. So you already see with that system, it's very easy to express different situations. And it also makes it easy for me in my head to somehow quantify how do I want to change the setup. I don't do it like, oh, let's rotate the speedlight a bit to the right or a bit to the left, or let's turn the model a little bit clockwise or whatever. In my mind, I'm thinking about concrete times. And this way I've got reproducible results because I know what the light looks from 8 o'clock. I know what my light looks from 9 o'clock. I've done that, I've seen it, and I'm using this as a reference system in my mind. If that's new to you, then you need to build up this mental reference. But that's easy, just make a couple of example shoots. Start by using, a lighting setup which you like and just rotate your model. Let her start with a pretty dead on position, even though her body, in this shoot it's turned to 5 o'clock. Still pretty dead on. Turning her directly to 6 o'clock would be like this. This is how the model looks. Totally square to the camera. It's more like something you would do for fashion, but not for much anything else. Go on, just play around with it. Turn your model to 7 o'clock. Turn her body to 8 o'clock. What does it look like now? Now it's becoming really three-dimensional. Go on and go crazy. Turn your model to 2 o'clock. Then you have an interesting view from her backside. And notice that her face and her body, they usually have 3-hour time difference, so to speak. Meaning her body might be turned to 4 o'clock while her face might be turned to 7 o'clock. This is a pretty special position where the chin pretty much meets her shoulder. And it's working wonders. Now, the one thing which is even more important than the model is the light. And the system is also awesome to express where the light is. We'll just use the big light source and turn her around the model. Now, if the light source is next to the camera at 7 o'clock, light is pretty flat, but with some shadow play happening. Now we are turning it around furthermore to 8 o'clock, and more shadows happening. 9 o'clock, one of my favorite lightings, a lot of shadow play happens, and so on. From behind, from 10 o'clock, it will make an outline of light around your model. And if you completely go around to 12 o'clock, then it's backlighting, your model is a silhouette. Unless you put up a reflector, let's say at 7 o'clock right next to the camera, and reflect a lot of light back. This also leads us to the next thing about my system. It does not only work for the model and a one light setup. It could also express easily a 2 or a more light setup. That's working for all of that. However, this clock system, as simple and easy as it is, it might not be the best for you. Maybe you've got another system, maybe you like another system, and that is okay, that is perfectly alright. Just the important thing that I want you to do is use any system which gives you a real reference of what you're doing, and where you can easily build up a visual reference of how your light looks from which position, and which makes it easy for you to add on new, let's say, lighting positions, model positions, and all of that. Now, I want you to build up the reference for your photography in your mind, or in your Evernote notebook, or in your paper notebook, whatever tickles you fancy. I hope I can motivate you to do that. And for the photo shoots you do for practicing or finding out your lighting setups and building up the reference, like always, I wish you good light.
Und tätowiert. Tätowiert. Ja. Und tätowiert. Tätowiert. Ja.